in the heart of the Namib Desert, where temperatures soar beyond 40 degrees Celsius and rainfall measures less than 100 millimeters per year, a single waterhole becomes the stage for nature's most desperate drama. This is Etosha National Park, Namibia, a landscape so harsh that survival is measured not in seasons, but in hours. When the dry season reaches its peak, hundreds of watering points across this vast wilderness disappear. Rivers become dust. Lakes turn to salt pans, and nearly every species in this ecosystem converges on the same precious resource. Welcome to the last waterhole, where the rules of the wild are rewritten every single day. It's 5:30 in the morning. The air temperature is already 28 degrees Celsius and climbing. At this waterhole, roughly 60 kilometers from Etosha's Okakaweo rest camp, over 15 different species will arrive before sunset, each carrying the same biological urgency. Water. But this is not a sanctuary. It's a battlefield disguised as salvation. An elephant herd appears. And oh, no Razan. 7 adults, 3 calves. They've traveled 18 kilometers overnight from their previous water source, which dried up 3 days ago. An adult elephant requires up to 200 liters of water per day. Without it, dehydration sets in rapidly. Their body temperature rises. Cognitive function declines, and within 72 hours, the consequences become irreversible. The matriarch leads her family to the water's edge, but she doesn't drink first. Her eyes scan the perimeter. Her trunk tests the air for chemical signals. In Namibia's dry season, drinking is the most vulnerable moment in any animal's day, and she's right to be cautious. 200 meters from the waterhole, a lion pride waits in the shade. 4 lionesses to subadult males, and 3 cubs. Lions can survive longer without food than without water. Studies show that in extreme heat, a lion can lose up to 12% of its body weight through evaporation in a single day. That means even apex predators must come to this waterhole, and when they do, they face a strategic paradox. If they drink during daylight, every prey species sees them and flees the area. The hunting opportunity vanishes. But if they wait until darkness, they risk severe dehydration that reduces their hunting effectiveness by up to 40%. A herd of springbok arrives, 23 individuals moving in tight formation. They've detected the lions. The decision calculus begins. Water means survival, but approaching water means risk. One individual separates from the herd. A young male. He moves forward alone, testing the distance to the lions, measuring the threat level. Tisbeabior, called sentinel posting, is found across dozens of species. In it, one individual accepts higher personal risk to gather information that benefits the entire group. The lions don't move. They're too dehydrated to hunt effectively right now. The sentinel signals safety. The herd rushes forward. They drink in rapid succession. No individuals stay more than 8 seconds at the water's edge. Then they scatter. Only when the springbok disappear over the ridge do the lionesses rise and approach the waterhole. Even predators must wait their turn. As the sun begins its descent, a different figure emerges from the thorn bush, a black rhinoceros, solitary, nearly 2 tons of muscle and horn. Black rhinos are critically endangered. Fewer than 6,500 remain worldwide, and Namibia hosts the largest population. Unlike elephants, who display caution, or springbok, who display fear, the black rhino displays something else entirely. Absolute territorial confidence. When a black rhino decides to drink, everything else yields. The lion pride, still at the water's edge, registers the rhino's approach. The matriarch lioness watches for 3 seconds, then turns and walks away. There is no confrontation, no standoff. The lions simply leave. This is not about strength alone. It's about risk assessment. A single kick from a black rhino can shatter bone. The injury risk far outweighs any benefit from confrontation. In the economy of survival, discretion isn't weakness. It's intelligence. But not every species has learned that lesson. From the eastern approach, a spotted hyena clan emerges. 9 individuals, led by the dominant female. Spotted hyenas are among the most socially complex carnivores in Africa. Their clans operate through strict hierarchies, coordinated hunting strategies, and collective Tonight, they've decided the waterhole belongs to them. The hyenas begin vocalizing. Their famous laugh is not random noise. It's a sophisticated communication system encoding individual identity, social rank, and tactical intent. The black rhino turns to face them. Its ears rotate forward. A warning. The hyenas circle, but they don't close the gap. They're testing, probing for weakness. Finding none, they settle 30 meters away and wait. The rhino drinks for 4 minutes. Then, without haste, it turns and walks back into the darkness. The waterhole changes hands once again. Nightfall in the Namib Desert brings a 20-degree temperature drop. The waterhole, which was 38 degrees Celsius at midday, now cools to a more tolerable 18 degrees. This is when the nocturnal community emerges. A giraffe steps into the dim light. Its height, normally an advantage, becomes a vulnerability here. To drink, a giraffe must splay its front legs wide and lower its head nearly 2 meters to reach the water. In this position, it cannot defend itself effectively. This is the geometric problem. Evolution gave the giraffe the same neck that allows it to feed where no other herbivore can reach, also makes drinking and exercising calculated risk. It drinks for 7 seconds. 10 pulls up scans. Repeats. The entire process takes 90 seconds of extreme vulnerability. And in the darkness, eyes are watching. A leopard, Namibia's most adaptable big cat, observes from a rocky outcrop 40 meters away. But tonight, the leopard doesn't strike. The giraffe is too large, too alert. The risk-to-reward ratio doesn't justify the attempt. Instead, the leopard waits for smaller opportunities. An African wildcat, barely 5 kilograms, approaches the far edge of the waterhole. The leopard adjusts its position silently. Muscles coil. Distance calculated. The attack is swift, but the wildcat's reflexes are faster. It vanishes into the rocks. The leopard returns to waiting. In T-desert, patience is as vital as strength. As dawn breaks, the parade of giants gives way to the smallest survivors. A Cape ground squirrel, weighing just 500 grams, approaches the waterhole's edge. Its strategy is speed. Drink in 3 seconds. Retreat. Repeat only if necessary. But even this tiny creature plays a role in the ecosystem's intelligence network. Suddenly, it freezes. Its tail shoots upward. It emits a high-pitched alarm call. A marsh eagle, with a wingspan exceeding 2 meters, glides overhead. The squirrel's warning isn't just for itself. Within seconds, other species react. Birds take flight. A family of warthogs retreat to their burrow. This is the hidden language of the waterhole. Species that would never interact otherwise share information that keeps them all alive. The eagle passes without striking. Tension releases across the waterhole community. Life resumes. An oryx, one of the desert's most remarkable survivors, arrives for its morning drink. The oryx possesses one of nature's most sophisticated cooling systems. A network of blood vessels in its nose, called the carotid reedy, cools blood before it reaches the brain, allowing the oryx to tolerate body temperatures that would kill most mammals. It can survive weeks without water by extracting moisture from desert plants. But when water is available, the oryx drinks deeply, storing every advantage for the brutal days ahead. By mid-morning, the waterhole hosts 6 species simultaneously. Zebras, wildebeest, springbok, a lone elephant, guinea fowl, and doves. Each maintains careful spacing. Each watches the others. Each follows unspoken protocols developed over thousands of generations. A family of warthogs arrives, moving in single file. The adults position themselves at the water's edge while keeping their young between them, creating a protective formation. Warthogs are among the most vulnerable species at the waterhole. Too small to intimidate predators, too slow to outrun them over long distances. Their survival depends entirely on vigilance and quick decision. The mother drinks first, but her eyes never close. Every 2 seconds, her head lifts. She scans left, then right, then behind. Her mate stands guard, not drinking, just watching. Only when she signals safety does he approach the water. This coordination, this silent communication between partners, is what keeps warthog families alive in one of Africa's harshest environments. Nearby, a group of zebras demonstrates a different strategy. They drink in rotation, with individuals taking turns between drinking and watching. The pattern is so precise it appears choreographed, yet no leader gives commands. This is collective intelligence in action. Each zebra responds to the behavior of those around it, creating an emergent pattern that no single individual consciously designed. Scientists studying Etosha's waterhole dynamics have documented over 40 distinct drinking strategies across different species, each one refined through countless generations of trial and error. The animals that survive are those whose ancestors learned the protocols and passed them down, not through teaching, but through observation and imitation. But the threats at the waterhole aren't always visible. Beneath the surface, the water quality deteriorates throughout the dry season. As the water level drops and evaporation concentrates minerals, salinity increases. Algae blooms. Bacterial counts rise. For most species, this poses no immediate danger. Their immune systems have evolved alongside these seasonal fluctuations. But for the young, the elderly, and the already weakened, contaminated water can be as deadly as dehydration. A young kudu calf, separated from its mother during a previous day's lion encounter, approaches the waterhole alone. It's been without water for nearly 30 hours. Dehydration is setting in. It drinks desperately, consuming water far too quickly. Within hours, the combination of stress, dehydration, and waterborne pathogens will begin taking their toll. This is the cruel mathematics of the desert. Sometimes the very thing that should save you becomes the thing that ends you. But for every story of loss, there are dozens of survival. The elephant herd from this morning returns. The matriarch leads them to a specific section of the waterhole, avoiding the stagnant areas where algae grows thickest. How does she know? Experience, memory, perhaps even knowledge passed down from her own mother decades ago. Elephants possess remarkable spatial memory. Studies have shown they can remember the locations of water sources across territories spanning thousands of square kilometers, and recall them accurately after years of absence. This knowledge, held in the mind of a single matriarch, can mean survival or death for her entire family. As afternoon heat builds, the waterhole enters its quietest period. Most animals retreat to shade, conserving energy, waiting for cooler evening temperatures. But one species arrives regardless of the heat. Ostriches, the world's largest birds, stride toward the water on powerful legs. Their size and speed make them nearly immune to most predators. An adult ostrich can deliver a kick powerful enough to kill a lion. They drink without the nervous vigilance shown by other species. Their height gives them a surveillance advantage. Nothing else at the waterhole can match. From their vantage point, they can see approaching threats from over half a kilometer away. This makes them valuable allies for other species. Wildebeest and zebras often graze near ostriches, using them as early warning systems. When an ostrich suddenly becomes alert, every nearby herbivore responds. This is the waterhole's hidden network. Species cooperating without intention, each pursuing their own survival while inadvertently helping others. A dust devil spins across the salt pan in the distance. The dry season is reaching its peak. Water levels continue dropping. What was a pool 2 meters across last week is now barely 1 meter. Within days, unless rain comes, even this last waterhole may disappear. On the distant horizon, clouds are building. Dark, heavy, moving slowly toward. The desperate convergence at this single waterhole will ease. Species will scatter across the landscape as seasonal pans refill and vegetation greens. The protocols of the last waterhole will no longer be necessary. Competition will decrease. Predators and prey will resume their more dispersed patterns across the park. But that transformation is not yet here. For now, This waterhole remains the center of everything, the axis around which survival revolves for every species within 30 kilometers. This waterhole, barely 40 meters across, is more than just water. It's a living negotiation between competition and coexistence. Here, the rules are simple but absolute. Everyone needs water, no one owns Italiano. Violence is expensive. Patience is currency. In the next 24 hours, over 200 individual animals will drink from this waterhole. Some will travel 30 kilometers to reach it. Others live within a few hundred meters. Predators and prey will share the same water within hours of each other. Rivals will drink side by side. The powerful will yield to the persistent. As long as this waterhole holds water, it holds life. But in Namibia's desert, nothing is permanent. Seasons shift. Rains arrive or don't. Waterholes fill or disappear. Until that rain falls, every animal in this ecosystem will return to this exact spot, driven by the same ancient biological command that has sustained life in the desert for millions of years. Drink. Survive. Return tomorrow. This is Namibia's last waterhole, where the race for survival is run not once, but every single day. And no animal can afford to lose. The first drops of rain begin to fall.